Energize. Energize. All systems most unusual. All systems most unusual.
So be it, fool. Savage life forms never follow even their own rules.
It registers as most unusual. It registers as most unusual. It registers as most unusual.
So be it.
Most unusual.
So be it.
Most unusual.
Engage!
Welcome to another episode of Trek in the Valley, the non-encyclopedic Star Trek The Next Generation recap and rewatch podcast. Every week, myself, Adam Ordall-Quinnell, and my partner in grime,
Hey everyone, it's Al Hurt. What's up?
Mr. Al Hurt, and I, we get together and we discuss an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. We have a couple little segments. It's a lot of fun. You've been here for 160 something episodes. You fucking get it. Al, how are you doing, man?
Good. A lot better. I don't know, just like hectic morning, and I made 2 sets of scrambled eggs.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know, the first one I was trying to you put too much oil in the pan and it's just like trying to get some oil out. And I tried flipping this lid or this like bowl that I had full of it and it just all fell out. And I was like, well, gotta do it again.
Did you drop it on the floor or in the sink?
In the sink. I was like, that's lost.
Hey, no, I mean, still, yeah, there's, I do consider the sink to be no man's land.
Yeah, seriously.
I remember one time I was taking one of my pills for my back, and so it's like limited supply or whatever, and I fucking dropped one of them into the sink, and it landed on a spoon that had water in it, and it immediately started to dissolve, and just without thinking I grabbed it and took the fucking thing. And I was just like, oh gosh, dude, I mean, is that any more disgusting than so many other things I've done in my life? But it was the sink. I do consider the sink to be a point of no return for anything.
No, it reminded me too of those TikTok videos of people cooking and putting food in the sink and mixing pasta and shit in there, and I'm like, no, it's terrible.
Wait, that sounds heinous.
It's like hate bait. I swear. I don't know. It's like people prepping bigger meals, but then it's like they would mix it all in the bowl, quote unquote, of their sink, and it's like, no, that's not.
Well, there's a couple of minds. I'm of a couple of minds on that, right? Because what is a sink if not a bowl with a drain? And
true.
Can you not clean a sink? So maybe that's a criticism of us.
That our sink isn't clean enough.
Yeah, sure, we wouldn't eat out of our fucking disgusting sink, but those TikTokers are like, yeah, you wash your sink after you use it. You wash it really well, so it's clean. People bathe their babies and stuff in the sink. It's you just wash it, and we're like, oh my god, you make fucking food in the sink, dude? Oh my god, where you wash your dishes? Yeah, where we make things clean and then rinse them off. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just...
No, it's still gross. We're correct. I want to say, objectively, we're right about that. But you do kind of feel gaslit sometimes. And I don't know, because I don't watch TikTok. I barely watch YouTube.
Oh, dang. Yeah, it's waves, There's Instagram reels and YouTube reels, and it's just all this one weird slop ecosystem.
I started looking at Instagram again because I was like, look,
dude, it's a trap.
I think I've got as many listeners to these podcasts as fucking Blue Sky is gonna get me, and I've got actual real people on Instagram that follow me from back when I collected toys and shit, and did stand up, and so it makes sense to post on Instagram for us and for the other pod and shit, but I hate doing it because then I end up looking at Instagram and it's just I'm just reminded of it's just there's a lot going on. I'm really struggling with wanting to get out and do stand up again, but that being very impenetrable because it's just you know, at some point your contacts kind of expire. You know, like I haven't booked like a real like tour or like multiple weekends of comedy since the pandemic started, before the pandemic. And so it really is just like, oh, so I will just be starting completely over like some sort of buster, and doing that in Los Angeles really sucks. So I'm like, how can I promote the podcasts a little bit more? Because this is a surefire thing, you know. Stand up, having to go out to open mics, that's a fucking nightmare.
Well, yeah, it's just a lot more convenient to, you know, set up a mic real quick. I mean, now with this new rig that I got, it takes like maybe 5 minutes. Well,
yeah, because you're not having to fucking jiggle that cable until it is connected properly.
It's like settings and stuff and drivers and shit. It's like as soon as I downloaded the driver for this, it just works, that whole meme, you know?
Yeah.
It literally, you just plug it in. It just works. Well,
it's like when I bought not to get Tech Corner. Hey, podcasting, recording Tech Corner, new segment. But I got the Universal Audio Volt, the 4-channel UA Volt. And it's like probably one of my favorite pieces of equipment other than my guitar that I've ever purchased. It's just an absolute tank. And Andrew on the other pod, he'd been recording with a Zoom to like to 2-system audio, and I was like, you got to get an interface, and he got the 2-channel version of this. But when you just plug it in, like that's like people complain about technology or whatever, but and maybe I'm not doing much with it. Honestly, plug a guitar in, you know, plug a mic in, set the levels or whatever. It's not rocket science, and this by no means is like ultra pro audio or anything. I'm not trying to say I'm great at it, but it definitely it is plug and play. Like I didn't even download drivers or anything because of like you just plug it in and GarageBand is like, oh, you got the Volt, the 4-channel Volt, cool,
nice.
We'll just load up the shit for that. But yeah. So you had some sort of emergency this morning. I mean, I'm not gonna force you to get into it. Like, you know,
no, it's just hectic. Just I don't know, a lot of different moving parts. That's all.
You broke your foot kicking a dog too hard or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you seen the new Mortal Kombat yet?
No, actually, I have not.
Have you
seen?
It was solid. It's actually so much better than the first one. It's ridiculous because the Mortal Kombat 2021 is one of the worst things I've ever seen. It was so bad.
Like a fan film, you know, at some point.
It absolutely was like a YouTube. And here's the crazy thing about Mortal Kombat. Did you know that there was a
web series, right?
A web series, yes.
Yeah.
It was like not IGN, but it was like an online platform, like an online video game like website or something, like journalism website or something.
Yeah, they were trying to do this whole thing though, where it was like, if this pitches off or if this runs off, we could just make more series for other for other games. It was,
that was the best Mortal Kombat stuff, like other than maybe the first movie. But this new movie, they really were just like, we're just going to do the game, and the fights are like
more on the cheese. Of it
yes,
all.
It aired more on the cheese, and
nice.
It airs more on the we're just gonna make it look exactly like the game. Like all of the fights do the 2D. Perfect. all of the fights take place in an iconic platform like level, and like the camera like pans in and like you see like Shao Kahn and the other guy or whatever, and you're like, oh shit, and it looks perfect. And it's weird that they got Carl Urban to play Johnny Cage.
It's an unlikely pairing.
I didn't think it was good casting. I thought it was just like, oh, Carl Urban had the time and
could
was
be
like on the
Kano,
list
dude.
of people. He should be Kano. I think we've
Yeah.
talked about that.
Yeah, we
The-
did.
The guy they got to do Kano though is pretty good.
Okay,
and he's better. Spoiler alert. They resurrect him because one of the things about Mortal Kombat is that in like the green mystical zone, it's
Yeah,
all
you gotta
like
have demons and
necromancy
stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
But it's very dumb, but also pretty good. And I saw the Backrooms.
Yeah.
We texted you about that. Fucking great. You liked it, right?
We
we talked about it.
I was excited. I mean, the only gripe I guess I kind of had was that it felt like it was setting up a sequel, but who knows? Who cares? They could just make as many as they want, right?
They're definitely Kane Parsons is going to have a blank check for
sure.
Like him and the guy that did Obsession. And it's funny because I've been watching and rewatching, just kind of slowly rewatching Iron Lung, which is another movie made by, it's on YouTube now. You can buy it or
cool.
rent it. But it's another movie made by a YouTuber that's based on a video game. It's that Markiplier guy. It's his movie.
I heard a podcast about how he produced it and made it and like not a chore, but like just finding out, oh shit, there's a lot of hurdles. Like he pretty much spent maybe a half hour to 40 minutes just talking about publishing and distribution and just like the clusterfuck it was to deal with all these theaters and to be like, no, trust me, it'll work. And then like, word of mouth and then selling it more and then dealing with more. It was logistically crazy.
And it did end up making a lot of money, especially for what they paid for it. But I think Obsession and Backrooms are definitely the titans of the YouTube to feature film pipeline right now. And I thought Backrooms was good. Andrew and I did a fucking 2-something hour podcast on it for Movies Over My Hammy. It's coming out next week. And no, I'm not promoting the other podcast on this podcast.
Wait,
would be ridiculous.
There was no meal tie-in though, huh?
No, we just compared it to the Moons Over My Hammy sandwich, which is what we do by
Nice.
default if there's not a tie-in. But we could have eaten like marshmallow fluff, like or rice
that'd be
pudding.
good. Yeah,
remember when he pulled the
really plain?
No. Remember when Chitwell Ejiofor pulls the fucking rice pudding out of that guy's stomach?
Crazy.
Yeah,
There's
that's a good
lot
movie.
Of inexplicable stuff in that.
Yeah.
And it's cool how the whole like liminal space and like I guess I was just looking into all those backroom music and all that liminal space music and all the atmospheric stuff, and it's nice. But then I just ended up listening to Vaporwave again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh man, this hopefully like the culture will just whip back to like 2016 memes and shit, and that's gonna be like what's cool now. I don't know, it's like all these promos and stuff too. It's funny because you see older fans of movies posting about it and they're like, it's weird that like the focal point is in this weird certain center and that like the aspect is all fucking weird and off, and everyone's like, oh yeah, it's just for your phone now. Like
I don't know,
the widescreen's kind of like a niche thing. Like the IMAX thing, it's like Christopher Nolan's like plugging that shit, It feels like, hey, here's the hype. Come see this in IMAX.
I definitely agree with that they are focusing on how things will look mobily, but I do think particularly with Parsons, he wanted it to look like a movie.
Oh, for sure.
And what really pissed me off, not pissed me off, but what really cheesed me off was on the socials, folks were like, yeah, you can tell it was directed by a 19-year-old. And it's like, listen, motherfucker, I have seen some dog shit fucking movies. Aliens versus Predator. Aliens versus Predator was directed by an adult human. Like, what the fuck? You're going to say it looks like it was directed by a 19-year-old? And then I was vindicated when I saw it, because no, it looks like it was directed by a first-time feature director who has a bunch of like really knowledgeable people around him.
And it's not like no one else helped him. Like, what are we talking about? Maybe some people are like, oh, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. And it's like, being a good leader, like some Picard shit, right? Tying it back to Star Trek. It's just like, you have your ready.
Oh, that's right. We do a Star Trek podcast.
And like, you have like your team and you listen to them. Like, wow. Maybe that's what he did.
Well,
I really doubt he was just like, no, this is my vision. It's like the Backrooms is already so obscure and such a weird like idea that it's like you could do anything with it. There's rules, but it's not like, he didn't have to adherently make anything, you know?
Well, that's what I said online. I was like, look, people who are saying like it looks like it was directed by a 19-year-old, they're really ignorant to like how a movie is made, because like Kane Parsons is standing on set and there's 50 people standing around him making sure that they get the shot. Like that's all it is. And when Steven Spielberg makes a movie, there's 50 people standing around him to make sure that he gets the shot. Like it's the same fucking process. It's framing, and that's why, like you say, I say a first-time director because it's like, and it is the liminal space, is like symmetry and things like that. But it is very like framed in such a way, like it's like a 4x3 frame within the frame. I fucking love that shit. But and it just shows that he had a good cinematographer. But anyway, we're a Star Trek podcast, so let's get to the first segment of the show.
The Trek.
What does Al remember? All right, Al. What do you remember about Star Trek, the animated series, Season 1, Episode 3? One of our planets is missing.
Was this the weird planet eater cloud thing?
Oh my God, Al!
Engage.
Yes.
Engage.
I am smashing positive.
Energize.
I'm smashing positive
Energize.
sound drops because goddamn, yeah, dude, this is the cloud that eats planets. So they're going to the Palace 14 system. And they see this cloud eat a planet. It disappears from sensors, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they see it there, and then they look away, and then it's gone, or something like that.
Yeah,
And then they start to see a path of just like no stars. And they follow that path.
Mm-hmm.
And then they end up getting caught in it, and then I don't know how they communicate with it exactly. I think, what is it? Spock. I think Spock just like takes the lead. I thought for some reason they like amplified it.
You're crushing it.
But I think it's just Spock. He just does his little hand wave thing, and then how do they find out that it's like? That's the one thing. It's like they find out that they're inside an organism rather than like some creepy phenomenon.
Yeah, it's like a cell.
There, Spock is like, okay, well, I guess we can, we throw things up. If we end up being a virus in this, maybe it'll spit us back out or something. But then he ends up talking to it, and he goes, "Come back directly where you came from, so that way you don't disrupt the other stars."
Yep. Spock puts his hands up. He puts his hands up like he's casting a magic spell.
Yeah.
And he says, "Return to where you came from." And and because you got to go right back so you don't destroy any more fucking planets, you goofball. And
was it just like a mistake, or was it just hungry? And it was like, oh shit, my bad.
It was like, I think what they said was it was like came from somewhere else. It came from outside of our universe, and that's why it was like its matter was all fucked up and shit. And so they told it, go back home to outside of our universe. You know that edge of the universe that they go to all the time, and every time they go there, they're like, oh my God, it's the first time we've been to the edge of the universe. It's fucking crazy out here. It's like, yeah, you go every fucking season, dipshits.
No, I think we were also cracking up to, I'm pretty sure it happens in the live action show too at some point, but it's like the whole ticking clock of the father being like, well, we just blasted all the children off of the planet.
This is the one, yeah.
Except for my daughter. She's right here with me. So
she's going to die with us. We have to save the children.
Oh, man.
That's right. That's the very grim. That's the very grim mayor of the town, of the planet or whatever. It's like, yeah, Jim, there's nothing we can do. We have to save the children. That's a good one. And hey, so anyway, that's what does Al remember? Good job, man. That was a very successful What Does Al Remember? You fucking nailed it, bro. And of course, that brings us to today's recording. which is season 2, episode 21, coming up on the season finale. We're recording the season finale either tomorrow or next week. Isn't that fucking crazy?
Yeah.
And it's funny because we're just gonna roll right into season 3, like no more breaks. Next break is after we're done with fucking TNG. I swear to God. And this episode is titled Peak Performance. It's like an energy drink, basically. Season 2, episode 21, Next Generation, written by David Kemper. I wonder if that's Elle Kemper, any relation? Is she a Nepo lady? Directed by Robert Shearer. And then the air date on Paramount is 7/11. Oh, like the store. July 11th, 1989, 100 years ago. And or IMDb would say July 9th, 1989, because they got that sweet, sweet pre-release. And the synopsis from our scribe over at Paramount Plus: they dipped their pen in a quill of ink and jotted down a simulated war game suddenly turns into a real-life fight for survival when the crew is ambushed by a Ferengi battleship. What?
Ooh, ruh-roh. That's like the whole plot.
Yeah, wouldn't the Enterprise just cut a Ferengi battleship to ribbons? Like, why does that? Why? What the hell?
Well, they're
like, what the
missing,
hell?
Like, one
dude?
little plot point, but then that would have just been again the whole episode. Because
They don't even mention Cerna Kolrami, the Zrakton master strategist, who is
it's
little rat-faced motherfucker, dude.
It's a weird setup because it's like they're zipping around somewhere, and then Picard's like, "Well, we have to do this like obligatory combat exercise, and we got this douchebag on board."
So yeah, a little bit of
arguing and stuff. And
what a dude, you are fucking on your A game today. What a fantastic bringing us up to speed. This guy because of the Borg, the Federation, they're supposed to be dorks. Right? They're supposed to be fucking scientists. Riker's like, we're supposed to be scientists, etc. Right? But the Borg is going to come kill everybody. So they have to get ready for war. So they're doing this war game, and it's being supervised by this Cerna Kolrami, who's a master strategist from a race of people called the Zaktrons. Now, Al, what's the deal with the Zaktrons? We find out on the bridge, Worf and Data are talking to each other. What's their whole deal?
It's that they are such master strategists of war that I guess no one has ever challenged them because they're just purely scared of losing. And so Worf is like, well, that reputation means nothing then. It's like, yeah, that is kind of true, but kind of isn't.
My notes say, I love Worf after that note. No one is willing to test that perception in combat, then the reputation means nothing. I fucking love that shit. Because I was thinking the same thing. Like,
I get you. I don't know. It's kind of possible, though, because like I had a assistant coach in my high school for soccer, and he always started with like, he never played. He like never played the game of soccer. He played football, he played baseball, never soccer. But he was like one of the best coaches.
Well, yeah, I mean,
so it's like maybe you could like offer like different perspectives and stuff, but it is kind of like Worf said. It's like it's not really.
Hold on, were you on Ted Lasso's team?
Yeah, right.
Are you talking about Ted Lasso? Because that's exactly
the whole plot to Ted Lasso.
That's the whole plot to Ted Lasso.
It's like, but it's like, does he really know though?
No, he's I mean,
in the show,
goofball.
does he ever play?
No, he doesn't play.
I haven't seen it. Okay. Well, that's lame. Come on. That should be like a season finale plot or something. He's like, I guess I'll play a game of pickup.
I thought, pick up soccer. I saw the...
Wait, what do you think of that whole theory?
What whole theory? No, that's what I was going to say. So you can't... as soon as... When I was watching this and they say they're such master strategists that nobody dares try to fuck with them, it's like, well, then it's obviously bullshit. It's like... And that's... They basically say as much, in the episode. And when this Cerna Kolrami guy comes onto the bridge, he immediately wants to get down to business, and Worf and Data have their little back and forth. So the war game is going to be they're putting Riker on an old derelict ship called the Hathaway.
Yeah, the Hathaway.
And it's going to be the Hathaway, the USS Hathaway versus Picard in the Enterprise. So it's like laser tag shit.
And then it's nice how they set it up. It's like,
it's
will
great.
we attack each other? And it's like, no, they'll just be lasers. And then wherever they hit the computer, we will program the computer to shut down those stations.
Yeah, for as
like,
long as the
average
repairs
repair
would
time.
take.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay.
No,
Well,
it's
you just do this in Starfleet.
it's absolute. Well, they are doing it in Starfleet. It's this
No, or Academy, excuse me.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They should just do that.
they probably do. They probably put you
True.
on a. Well,
Maybe
they
it's
will
like your
now,
senior, right?
especially because those cadets have to fight Borg. But
oh yeah, that's right. That's the whole reason why they're doing this. Because Picard's like, I'm kind of against this because we're an exploration ship. Like we negotiate. We do science stuff. Like we figure out drama in between family and traditions and shit.
Yeah, Picard and Riker are both like doing war shouldn't be a big part of a Starfleet captain's shit. And then this Cerna Kolrami is like, well, don't let your fucking bullshit get in the way of making this a good exercise. And Riker's like, I won't. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it.
Yeah, and it's like the whole time this guy is just like
up Riker's ass.
Yeah, questioning his commitment and making sure that like his emotions won't cloud him. It just feels weird.
I think if I was in charge of a race of planets, I would attack the Zactorns just because they're so fucking annoying. Like that guy really makes you think that they're absolute chodes. And so after the opening credits, and this Zacton guy, this Cerna Kolrami guy, we should mention. He's got a little bit of makeup. He looks kind of like a melted candle man, a little bit. And they've got 48 hours to ready each vessel. And here we go. Let's not let your distaste for the exercise spoil the results. I love that. This guy is
so bizarre. He's just a stickler.
He's the character actor who plays this dude, Roy Brocksmith, absolutely nailed it.
Great actor.
Oh, and I didn't say this was written by David. Yeah, I did. David Kemper, directed by Robert Shearer. But
mention.
Get into
Data
it.
Also mentions too that like the Zacrodians, I guess
The Zactrons. The Zactorns.
They're very what is it? They're very arrogant and like, confident in their ways.
Yeah.
That like it is part of their culture, so it's not just the one that they have on board.
Sure, absolutely. And it's just kind of like Data being like, no, if you're racist, this is what it's like. And speaking of racism, Pulaski does not like the Zactorn, and I love that.
Pulaski starts all kinds of fires in this episode too.
She's so great.
It is nice though, yeah.
so at the beginning of Act 1, Pulaski's on the bridge talking shit about the Zactorn. Data basically says we should trust Kolrami. He is a 3rd level Grand Master in the game of Stratagema.
Yeah,
and
right.
so we'll get to Stratagema soon. It is absolutely wild. And then Riker is going around to put together his Hathaway crew. Where's he go first? What do you need first when you're putting a starship crew together, buddy?
No, and it's funny too because the first thing Picard says, he's like, number 1, you can make your team, but I have Data. He's going to be my first officer.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Okay.
He plants his flag in Data immediately.
Yeah, he's like, fuck, okay. So then he goes immediately down to engineering, and he's like, hey, Geordi, did you hear about the Hathaway campaign? And the guy's like, yeah, it's pretty dope, huh? And he goes, I kind of think I need or have you ever heard of that ship before? And poor Geordi already knows about it. And he's like, yeah, for fun, I kind of just prepared some tools and schematics.
He's like, I'm ready to go, buddy.
Yeah, for what the Hathaway's like, And it's kind of like a whole, that Rick and Morty meme of you son of a bitch, I'm in kind of thing.
It absolutely is. You son of a bitch, I'm in. So Geordi's on board. Who's next?
It highlights each of the characters too. It's Worf who's next. And
Worf?
he's just chilling in his room.
Oh my God, what's he doing?
Just meditating, sort of building these.
Yes.
It's a form of meditation. But
Yes,
he's
you're
building
right.
These old warships.
He's building a little paper boat.
Yeah, and he is about to put the mast on, which is the best part. And
We all know that when you're building a boat, when you're building a boat, building the mast, that's what you're doing it for.
Of course. But as soon as he he's about to set it in, the bell rings, his doorbell rings, and he snaps it in half, and he's like,
He brushes it off the table in a rage and says, "Come in." And then he sees it's Riker,
and he just wipes it off.
He says,
funny.
"Are you busy?" And Worf says, "Just finished."
And Riker's like, "What do you think of this simulation, this campaign?" And Worf's like, "It's bullshit. When there's nothing to risk, there is no gain."
Yeah.
It's like, damn, okay.
Well, how's Riker get his ass then?
Riker does the reverse psychology of like, well, I mean, if you put it that way, I guess we're not gonna win. I mean, what are our chances?
He says we could maybe get some pride out of doing something.
Yeah,
and
he's like, you're outmanned, outgunned, and out-equipped, and it's like him kind of like goading him into being like, I mean, it should be impossible odds, right?
He goes, "What have you got?" And Worf thinks long on it, and he goes, "Guile." It's great. And then as kind of an afterthought, he goes, "Oh yeah, I want Wesley to come along too as a little schoolboy, whipping boy for us." And he also just randomly challenges the Zachdorn to a game of Stratagema.
Stratagema, yeah.
Right? And the dude, of course, talks down to Riker.
Oh, it's awful.
And this is a lot happening in Act 1. Geordi and Riker, we get walking down the hallway, and Geordi's like, "So you think you can beat him?" And Riker's like, "Absolutely not." And Geordi's like, "But you stand a chance, right?" And he's like, "Not even a little bit of a chance." And he's like, "But what are you doing this for?" And he's like, "He's the fucking best, man. It's an honor just to get to play him." And they go and they get set up to, there's an audience. And the Zachdorn is sitting on one side of a table, and Riker sits down on the other side of the table, and they both hold up their hands like this. And then an attendant, Worf on one side, I can't remember who does it for the Zachdorn, but
Deanna Troi.
Yeah, Troi. Eugh. So they put these things that can only be described as like dick milking gloves. Like they put milkers on each finger. It's very strange.
Yeah, and it's like, why require cables or something? Maybe
and they have wires.
Game.
There's a wire going from and so apparently they don't explain what Stratagema is. They just say like Troi says the games can go up to 1,000 moves or more, and it's like a 3-dimensional game that you have to put things in a certain quadrants and they turn around.
Yeah, I think what it is kind of like a Splatoon kind of deal where it's like you're supposed to take over an amount of space, but then you can like you can overtake their space if you like do a bigger circle. Yeah, it's kind of like what is that called? The blob IO game.
I don't know.
Like a little blob, and then you're supposed to get other little blobs, and then you turn bigger and bigger. It's kind of like a big game of like blob tag.
That sounds like a game for sure.
On there that have like hundreds and hundreds of points.
We used to
getting all those stuff.
Brittany and I used to play a game where you're a hole and you'd go around.
That's
and you
it.
Get bigger.
Yeah.
Hole.
That's the hole. What's that game called? Whatever.
It's called
the
Hole.
Same idea.
The one that I was talking about is called Hole. So Pulaski's explaining competition to Data. He's like, I don't get what this competition shit is. And Worf, there's a funny Worf Riker thing where Worf says, we're all betting on this, and Worf goes, if you don't take him past the 6th plateau, I will be irritated. Pulaski suggests Data challenge Kohlrabi because they need someone. When someone is that smug, you need to take them down a peg. Data doesn't get it. Riker gets his ass kicked in 23 moves. It's very quick. It's hilarious because he's really trying, and Kohlrabi is like, and then it's like, that's it, it's done, and everybody's like, it's done, and Pulaski's like, it's done, and everybody's like, it's done.
I know it's a weird detail or a gimmicky thing, but it's like they were on their way to the Hathaway and it was 2 hours. So then that's why Riker was like, hey, do you want to play a game of Strategy?
They had time on their way to the.
But that's like they just had to add another weird gimmick, I guess, to like. I guess
those fingertip things
was proving how
are crazy.
Strategic they are military-wise through those games. I don't know.
Right? I mean, it ties into the overall, it ties into the themes of the episode. I like the Stratagema stuff, other than the fact that they were wearing those creepy gloves, like from the Jordan B. Peterson meme, where he's in a Chinese milking factory. So in Act 2, Riker's next challenge is the Hathaway, Picard says. You just got your ass kicked by the Stratagema Master. Now you got to go get your ass kicked by me, Picard, baby. His ragtag simulation crew gets beamed over to this primitive shit heap that they have to get up to spec. Mm-hmm. Great moment when the lights come on. Worf just looks around and says, "Not good."
Yeah.
So Riker puts Worf in the 2-seat. Riker gives a little pep talk. There's an awesome HD remastered shot of the Hathaway powering up. Remember that when it's like the lights are coming on outside?
Yeah, because Geordi's like, I'm going to get started on the engines right away. And it's actually a nice moment, too, because Worf is like, no, Geordi should be here, you know. He should sit here. He's obviously the most experienced out of all of us. And Riker's
He's the senior officer.
But, yeah, but he goes, you know, this is like a
combat simulation.
Exercise. Yeah, and who knows combat better than you, Worf? And even Geordi adds like, yeah, man, I mean, and I'm going to be too busy with the shitty engines anyways. Like,
I'm going to be trying to keep us alive in engineering. Mm-hmm. And which brings us to engineering, where Geordi is looking at what's left of the warp drive and the dilithium fragments, and
it's just so fucking funny though how it's like it's the future and it's all gorgeous and nice, but it's like they still have these weird little gimmicky things of like
still wires,
these two little and the game Strictego with the wire hands, but it's also like they have the frame that's holding this crystal, and it's like so delicate and light, and it's like maybe that's how the older ships are made, maybe that's how it's showing its age, whereas the warp drive and the Enterprise is just this straight up giant massive tube of matter.
There's a dilithium chamber somewhere in the Enterprise that looks like that, like the little thing with the thing in it. It's got a big crystal in it. Yeah.
But it's just so funny how it's like still kind of, they still have these analog things.
When I said wires, I meant like on the bridge of the Hathaway, there's just loose wires everywhere.
True.
You forget how many wires there must be in a spaceship. Like you imagine it's all like fiber conduits and shit, but no, they have like just straight up copper wires. It's fucking rad. So Geordi and Wesley says we're fucked over comms, and Riker's like, you want to beam back?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then Riker pops up on the screen in the bridge. They've got like about 3 hours left, I think, or something, or they've got 24 hours or whatever. But Riker says, what's the Zach Dornian word for mismatch? And he goes, challenge. And then after that little conversation, Pulaski, we find out what did Pulaski done do, Al?
The what is his name? Dracon.
The Zakdorn. His name is Kolrami. Cerna Kolrami. Kolrami. We'll remember now.
Kolrami turns around and he's like, "Hey, Data. I heard you want to play against me in Stratego or Stratagema. Data's like, what are you talking about? I never expressed interest in it. And he goes, well, Dr. Pulaski brought it up to me. And
Pulaski's like, Data wouldn't be arrogant enough. He wouldn't be arrogant enough to just challenge you forthright. Data, I love how Data's just so confused as to why anybody would challenge anybody to anything.
No, and it's just like, you know, a very adult version of the whole child playground thing of like, oh yeah, are you scared? You pussy? You gonna pussy out? And it's like, well, I mean, I guess I gotta prove it to you now. Okay, I guess. And it's like, why don't you want to play him? You scared? Are you chicken?
Yeah, she does a great job with that. And he's like, now is when you're gonna tell me I have to prove myself. Yeah. Well, right then.
But it's like a very adult version of that, like being workplace appropriate, you know, that they're not like outright saying it, but it's those passive aggressive email tones, you know.
And I love that. You know, we're coming up to the end of Pulaski's time on the show, unfortunately. Spoiler alert. And she started this season as like a stark raving robo-racist.
Oh, that's right.
And now she's scheming to get Data to like dominate some asshole. She loves Data.
That's true.
And then we get back over to the Hathaway, and they're putting together their mismatch tactics. And Worf says he can create an illusion to confuse the Enterprise. This is where shit really pops off, because Wesley is like, Riker, I've got to go back to the Enterprise. There's an experiment I need to turn off. And Wesley, they ask for permission from Picard. He goes back to the ship, and he gets like ushered around by this guy, the security officer, and it's so funny because the security officer watches him like take this antimatter ball out of some shit, and he moves away. He says, "I'll just beam this into space," and then he beams it over right next to Geordi.
Yeah, and then he goes, "Don't worry,
it.
I know the coordinates. I'll just put it in there." And it's like, okay, that's like the one thing you're not supposed to let somebody do.
Dude, it's so cool. Wesley is smooth operator in this. As much as he's a chode, I think if this was my introduction to Wesley, I'd be like, this guy's fucking all right. And he didn't cheat, because Riker says something we have to do is we have to improvise. We have to improvise.
Improvise. But it was just kind of like a shit sucks, figure it out.
He yes-anded him. By going to stealing. I just love the shot of the antimatter ball beaming in next to Geordi, and it like tinks over a little bit, and he's like, what the fuck? Antimatter ball. Act 3 opens with Pulaski telling Data to quote unquote bust him up. Which is because there's another crowd. They're in the dining area ready to play another game of Stratagema. And Pulaski just cannot deal with what happens here. Because what happens, Al?
Yeah, he what is it? Goddamn, Kohlrabi wins. Kohlrabi wins.
Handily.
But Data gets him to 88 moves, at least.
Yeah, sure. And Pulaski cannot deal with it.
Pulaski breaks down, though. She's
the
just
computer beaten by flesh and blood.
Yeah, and that just kind of goes, kind of helps collaborate. Kohlrami. Kohlrami. God, now I keep forgetting Kohlrami.
Kohlrami.
It just feeds into Kohlrami's ego more. And it's she just kind of makes Data feel. Pulaski makes Data
fucked
feel really,
up,
really
dude.
bad. Yeah,
it is fucked up.
And I love. You're supposed to be a robot. I mean, you're supposed to be
infallible.
Be the best. Yeah, and it's like, well, it's not really flesh and blood. It's like an alien race that was, pretty much the best strategist in the galaxy. So like, you can't really. It's apples and oranges, I feel. I don't know. And they're also always finding new shit in space. I mean, there's been plenty of times when Picard's like, Data, theorize, and Data's like, well, I know what it's not.
Right? And
so it's like, it's still new.
And Data's solution ends up being pretty ingenious. We'll get to that at the end.
Yeah.
So it throws Data into Data has a crisis of conscience. And then we cut to Kohlrami coming off of his beating the android, and he's talking shit about Riker on the bridge, and Picard pulls him aside and says, I need to know the root of your prejudice towards Commander Riker.
Yeah, seriously, it's nice that this is like a master class in how a superior should deal with somebody giving one of his coworkers shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Picard is a good boss, as good as a boss can be in this moment.
Yeah, he just like calls him out immediately, like no fluff.
But what's this motherfucker's problem? He says he wasn't impressed by Riker's file.
Yeah, he's got too much swag.
He's too much fun.
He drifts into the mission rather than like Parks,
He's too much fun.
He has charisma, and it's like Picard goes, yeah, but I don't understand how you think style has to do with commitment. Like, he still completes the mission. He still gets shit done.
Please
People,
do not.
In fact, trust him more because of his style and his charisma. Like, he doesn't take everything lightly. It's just that, he has this style that is him.
Picard says, don't confuse style with intent. Yeah. And he says his joviality is the means by which he creates the trust within his crew. And the guy's like, we'll see, man. I guess we're going to find out. And Troy goes to counsel Data. I love how Troy's the counselor on the ship, which means she even counsels the android who's going. Right? And she gets there, and Data's basically like, I should have beat that bitch. I don't know what fucking happened.
He's just doing his Data thing where he's like, well, I mean, I got to figure out what happened and what's going on. So I'm just going to study and look into like my files and this and that.
Explain it to me, Al, because he explains it to 3 different people. What's the real problem? It's not just that he lost a game. It's that
he's malfunctioning because like the loss came from a malfunction. Like it has to be.
And if he's malfunctioning, then
he's got to be, what is it? He's got to, I don't know, be broken.
Take time off the bridge.
Yeah.
That's what he says. He takes time off the bridge because he doesn't want to give Picard bad advice.
And it's like him kind of guilting himself and like wiping away his confidence. And it's funny because this is Deanna Troy's like, I mean, what you're doing though is kind of, you know, criticizing yourself and being hard on yourself for your own judgment off of something that you didn't really have too much control over.
Right.
And like, no, I'm not. I'm just, you know, trying to look into what happened. And
just
like,
trying to make sure I'm not malfunctioning.
Yeah. But she's like, but that's kind of like what people do, you know, when they panic and they lose, you know that, right? Like,
yeah.
They kind of just try to figure out what went wrong. And
she says there's two options. She says there's two options. You can either lose confidence or learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, I think she's wrong. I think you can do both. I think you can both lose confidence and learn from your mistakes. Like you learn that you're a piece of shit from your mistake, and that makes you lose confidence. Like I think that she's being a little too flip there.
But he's a robot too.
He doesn't want to give the Captain Picard bad advice because he lost the finger milking game, basically.
Yeah, it's just but it's so funny too how it's like he doesn't realize, because I mean he's an android, but he doesn't realize he's doing like the textbook maneuver of like you self-doubt and, you know, trying to figure out what happened instead of just taking it on the chin and moving on.
You are more human than you realize. Now, we get back onto the Hathaway where Wesley and Geordi are implementing the stolen antimatter. And Wesley says, I didn't cheat, I improvised. Riker's immediately all smiles. They're going to get like 2 seconds of warp drive and the Hathaway might stall. Geordi gives him like you ever ridden in a Vernuvian mud skipper? You ever stall it out? You ever pop the clutch? And he's like, the Hathaway might stall. Surely we won't be in a situation where if the engine stalls, we get destroyed by torpedoes.
Yeah.
So we get into Act 4 and Deanna goes to tell Pulaski, hey, you
fucked him up.
Pulaski also tried to go. Hold on. Pulaski also in the last act. Pulaski tried to kick.
Sorry. Yeah.
She says Achilles in his tent, licking his wounds. You're smarter because you were beaten. He says it's not about ego. And she says, I wish I hadn't goaded you into playing that game. And he says, good, I'm damaged. And this alerted me to that. He's like, no, I'm glad you had me do it because it showed me how broken and fucked up I am. Thank you. And she's like, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, he just took the whole I'm supposed to be the best kind of deal and went overboard.
Well,
it's kind of like when Data feels bad about the episode where they do like the Sherlock Holmes thing and the Holmes villain ends up being smarter than
Data, the whole computer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
And Data, the ship's computer ends up being smarter than Data, basically, in that one.
Yeah.
So far, Deanna, Troy, and Pulaski have tried to knock Data out of this funk. They tell Picard, you got to talk to Data, and he's like 1 hour away from battle simulations, and I have to hold handhold an android. And Pulaski goes, burdens of command, I guess. It's really fucking funny. Picard goes to kick Data's ass back up to the bridge, and what's the argument that he makes?
Picard kicks Data's ass?
He kicks Data's ass back up to the bridge. He goes in and he goes into Data's quarters, and he's like, Data! What's he say?
He's not like, wait, I don't think I'm at that part. Yeah, mine's a little behind.
Oh, so yeah, and I haven't even, I paused mine fucking a long time ago.
Bridge.
So yeah, basically he says that even though you might make a mistake, that doesn't change that you have to fucking do your job. You know, so he says, you're a Starfleet officer, right? And Data's like, yes. And he's like, then come up with ideas for the simulation and meet me on the fucking bridge, you idiot. I tell you what to do. You don't tell me what you're gonna do.
It's telling him to move on.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like, analyze it and just fucking help me out on the bridge.
Learn what you can and move on.
Oh, that's the quote. I was like, he goes, and Commander, it is possible to commit mistakes or to not commit mistakes and still lose.
That's a
that
big...
Is not
that's,
weakness. That is life.
That's the quote that I have for the quote for the episode, I think.
Yeah, that's probably the best line in the whole episode.
And then we get a great, and he's wrong too. Like, if you lose, you made a mistake. You fucked up. It was your fault. That's bullshit. So much bullshit in this episode, but it's fine. It's a fantasy world.
But it's also like you can do your best, and everything can go right.
Yeah,
something could still go wrong.
I was just fucking around.
But yeah.
So Data then has a little conference with Troy, and where he's like consulting with her about Riker's behavior. He analyzed all of Riker's previous missions, and he's like, he only does the conventional tactics 21% of the time. And Troy helps Data narrow it down. It's like, that's not fair. You know a lot about Riker from all of your relationship with him. You call him Imzadi. Like, what the fuck, dude? So then they kick off the war game. It's been 48 hours. And Riker does this great thing when they kick it off where he looks at Picard and he goes, just remember, Captain Riker's never lost. And Picard's boner for Riker is like so present in this episode. He's just like, he's the best. And I fucking love it. They get right to business. Picard, of course, opens with the Kume maneuver. And Riker's like, he's teasing me. What should we do, Worf? Counter with the Talupian maneuver on sighting. And it's like, these sound like Rick and Morty fucking people.
It's just sci-fi blob.
So then they do Worf's surprise, where he makes the Enterprise think there's a Romulan ship approaching out of nowhere. And then
which is kind of unfortunate because it ends up playing into what happens right after.
Sure does. The Zakdorian Kolrami, he's quite good, and Picard said he's the best. That's just like my favorite. Right. Riker and Picard go at it until what happens?
A Ferengi ship rolls up,
and of course Picard for a moment thinks it might be a fake ship,
right?
And then it's not. They get in the way between the Hathaway and the Ferengi. Worf is like, we must assist, but they can't because... So here's the thing. If I was doing this war game, right, apparently to set up the Enterprise and the Hathaway to have like the laser tag situation, they fuse the weapon systems so that they can't... It's going to take a lot of work to restore the weapon system. And that doesn't make a lot of sense because what if something like this happens? So they can't fight. Neither ship can fight. What does Kolrami? What's his advice as the expert stratagema player?
He's like, ditch him all. You gotta get out of here. Get the hell out of
40
there.
40 lives to save 1,000.
Yeah, but Picard goes, dude, I have 40 of what is essentially my best crew.
Acceptable tactical losses. That's it. I mean, I'm Kolrami, the master of dick milking a fingertip glove game,
Yeah, and it's so funny when they open the view on the Ferengi ship when they finally contact the Ferengi, just have their mouths wide open and they're like, huh?
What the fuck is this?
And they're like, why did you attack another Federation vessel of a shittier design?
And now you're defending it? What the hell?
Defending it? So, and then they're like, what is its value to you?
There is a one quick thing before that. There's a great moment with Picard where Kolrami says, we must abandon them and get the fuck out of here. And he goes, I am the captain of this vessel. Your order is nullified. Because he goes, I order you to get us out of here. And it's like, you can't order Captain Picard around on the Enterprise. What are you, the Borg? And what really cheesed me out is why didn't Picard just say, this is a war game, Ferengi. This is a practice thing that we're doing. We're training each other. It's what you've probably done it in the past. You simulate business deals. Why wouldn't he just say? Why wouldn't he just say it's a training exercise? But
no, and it's also like he is the war guy. So why is he leaving at the first sight of a battle?
Is that how your people are so formidable? You run away instantly and cut your losses and just let people die. Now they think the Ferengi think the Hathaway must be of value. Of course, Bactor, the captain of the Ferengi ship, it's Quark, it's Armin Shimmerman playing Bactor. They basically say, you'll give us the Hathaway, and we'll let you go, and you have 10 minutes. And it's basically like retreat or die, and that little Weasley Kohlrami guy makes a fart face, and it's very funny. It just ends with him being like, like scrunching up his face.
Yeah. I guess Quark calls it, he's Bactor.
Yeah. At the beginning of Act 5, Picard blames himself for this, and I don't know exactly what it means. So he's blaming himself like it was my fault for taking the assignment of doing the war game, and now that brings us here.
It was kind of pushed on you, though.
Yeah, right. And who's going to do it if not the flagship?
Right.
Riker pops in to tell Picard to get out of there and save the Enterprise. They've been listening to Kohlrami say, just let them die.
Oh my God.
And Riker pops up to tell Picard to do that. And then Riker explains when Bactor closes in, we have a 2-second limited warp drive. And they're like, Picard's like, what? You have warp drive? And Kohlrami's like, that ship was disabled. and then Picard says, I got to work something out with Mr. Data. And this is, again, we don't see the plan. So we know that it's going. They do actually tell us the plan.
They do.
Because we get to the conference room with Riker being he's on the Cisco phone in the center of the conference room.
Yeah.
And basically what they're going to do is they've got a few torpedoes, access to a few torpedoes. They're going to shoot the torpedoes at the Hathaway, making the Ferengi think they're destroying it rather than give it up.
But at that very second, the Hathaway will zip out with their warp drive.
Yep, and they'll have a little bit of time to figure shit out then, because the Ferengi will at least temporarily think the Hathaway's been destroyed. But what's the problem with that, Al?
Geordi's like, I don't even like this plan because I'm not even sure our warp drive even works. Like they kind of like jerry-rigged it with this weird antimatter.
Remember the stalling out I told you about, where if you don't jump away at the exact second, it's going to be destroyed.
It's so fucked up.
If it stalls, we'll get killed by our own torpedoes. And he goes,
yeah, it's like, then you'll really shoot us.
Very unfortunate. We will be dead, Data says.
Yeah, no, but it's funny too, though, because as soon as they...
Worf. No, Worf is the one he says. Worf says that outcome would be very unfortunate. We will be dead.
No, and then as they end the call too, Data goes, Geordi, just a reminder, it is very important that you do it at the exact millimeter that we shoot those torpedoes. Geordi's like, yeah, I know, or we'll die.
We all know. We all know how important that is, Data. We're good.
Yeah, he's like, that's why I don't like this plan, but I guess I'll do it anyways.
And so they do the thing, and it works. They trick the Ferengi, and the Quark Bactor says, I didn't think the Federation had the cojones to fucking blow up their own quarry there. And then they say, well, we're gonna destroy you now, Picard. And then they're like, oh, there's another Federation ship coming in. And Worf doctored up the signature of the Hathaway to look like another Federation ship. They shoo the Ferengi away. And then, of course, Kohlrami sheepishly admits that he was wrong and Riker did a good job. And so have you, Picard. And I'm going to give a favorable report to Starfleet, which, Picard did not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like Picard is like,
at that point,
Picard is just like, you cannot imagine how little of a fuck I give about what you report to Starfleet, motherfucker. This has been a shit show and it's on your melty face. All right.
Yeah.
Riker, they're done with the battle simulation. Riker and Pulaski walk in then at the end, we get the grand hilarious finale of the whole episode.
Yeah, the final showdown.
Yep, Riker and Pulaski, because at the end of Data's last match, Stratagema match, fucking what's his ass is like, yeah, I'm open to a rematch anytime. And then they walk in, Riker and Pulaski after the war game walk in on Data and Kohlrami playing the milking finger game. And
Kohlrami's making all these weird faces too.
Kohlrami's really sweating. Data is not, obviously. He's the mandroid. And they're really getting into it. You're seeing the game, the numbers over their head. There's numbers over their head that are just getting higher and higher.
Yeah.
And then in a huff, Kohlrami goes, "This is bullshit. This isn't a rematch. It's a farce." And he takes off his milking fingertip gloves, and then he storms out. And what did Data do, man? What happened?
Yeah, it was so great because Riker's like, "Data, you did it. You beat him." And Data's like, "I didn't really beat him.
I didn't beat him. It was a stalemate."
Yeah, he's like, "It was a stalemate." But he's like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Well, when you play this game, he was expecting, to win, and he expected me to win. Kohlrami expected me to win." And Wesley's like, "Yeah, but you really didn't, though, huh?" And Data goes, "Yeah, I was just pretty much going for a tie. So where in some moves would have been more strategic for me, I kind of just crippled his strategy and kind of went after his squares more."
Yeah, he said
wore him down, basically.
He said Kohlrami was playing to win, and Kohlrami was assuming that I was playing to win. So instead, I played for a stalemate, for a tie.
Yeah,
and that frustrated the fuck out of him. And Pulaski's like, "You did beat him," and he's like, "Again, no, I didn't." And then there's a long pause, and he goes, "I busted him up." And it's like, huzzah! And that's the end of peak performance. What did you think, Al? Good stuff, bad stuff? Something in between?
Like very middle of the road. I just, I don't know. Maybe they should have leaned more into some aspects of it and others. The stratagema game. Strategema game was interesting. I found that entertaining. I would have liked... it's cool because you've always wanted to see kind of a showdown between Picard and Riker, but that only lasts for like 10 minutes because you have this other plot point of the Ferengi, but then it's like, oh shit, we only got 5 minutes left, so I guess they got to trick them and leave. But that was, clever in and of itself because the Hathaway didn't really have weapons, but it just had warp, so it was like a funny, clever Roddenberry-esque way to solve that issue. Because, I always like the fact that they build up like these crazy stakes. Like, the alien was telling him, Kohlrami was telling Picard, just ditch everybody.
Yeah,
and it's like, that's 40 people, 40 probably of like hand-picked people that Riker chose. And he's obviously going to pick people that are great and that'll be in the senior staff room, Yeah. So it's like, why would he do that? It just feels really silly.
So I liked it.
I don't know. I was pretty in the middle about it.
I liked it. Two things. There is a good bit where Picard tells Data, "Leave your hesitation and self-doubt in your quarters." And then Picard leaves and Data like beep boops like a console. And I thought that we were going to see a loading bar that's like, "Downloading hesitation and self-doubt to this station to leave his hesitation." I thought it'd be funny. And also, this is another episode where Brent Spiner's eye was fucked up for a couple of the shots. Like there's a couple shots where he's just got like Brent Spiner's blood red fucking infected eye. So how many stratagema milking fingertip gloves do you give this out of a scale of 1 to 5, Al?
It's probably 2.5. I just really wasn't like wowed by this.
Mid.
I don't know. I just the episode before was so good.
Definitively
was
mid
hitting on the right points. But yeah, this was very middle of the road. I don't know. The guest star was good, but wasn't fantastic. And then like, it was just more of, there was a lot of slice of life in this episode of just like them kind of hanging out, but it wasn't as, I don't know, it just didn't feel like it had as much to do with the plot.
Yeah.
And it was like all of them hanging out, and it's very Riker heavy. I will admit, I don't really love the Riker heavy episodes.
Well, then
like,
next
some
week,
of them are great, but
next week is going to be a
like,
bummer.
I feel like these next two are like very Riker, central. So I guess that was kind of like my if with it, and then also Pulaski starting a fire for no reason and getting in Data's head. That was funny too, but I don't know. Just thought it was pretty middle.
I'm going to give it a 4. I thought it was fucking hilarious. I thought that the guy playing Kohlrami was great. I thought the dick milking fingertip glove things was hilarious. Wesley doing espionage. The fact that we don't even get like the
Wesley
actual
cheats.
threat with the Ferengi until the end.
Yeah.
Like it's the only good Wesley Crusher anything yet. And all the Worf jokes where he's like, not good. Like, I think, dude, this episode was hilarious. It's a 4 from me. I almost gave it a 3.5, but then I remembered a bunch of funny stuff that I liked about it. So I bumped it up to a 4.0. And that is what we thought of peak performance, which brings us to the final segment of the show.
Captain, Adam and Al are recommending things. I repeat, Adam and Al are recommending things.
Well, this is easy and obvious from me, but I'm going to recommend Mortal Kombat 2. It's it's the best Mortal Kombat movie ever, probably.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we covered a lot of it in the beginning.
We did indeed. I don't want to rehash, but that's my recommendation.
Cool. I'm finishing one documentary right now. I'll figure out whether I can recommend it for the next week's episode or not. But
very
this
responsible
TV show,
of you.
Yes. This TV show I started, I'm on the 3rd season already. It's Shrinking. It's Harrison Ford and Jason. I always say Jason Segal.
Yeah.
It's Jason Segel.
Yeah. It's good.
But,
I've heard.
I think, okay, the thing is, my fiance and I don't love Jason Segel, and his character is like kind of like really, really dumbed down.
Yeah.
But it's very like feel good TV, and you realize the entire cast around him is like fantastic. And some characters, some people love, some characters people hate. But there's this interesting phenomenon, well, not phenomenon, but this trend that I've noticed with my fiance and I. We didn't really love the 1st season, but then we're liking the 2nd, and then we sort of like the 3rd because it's like it's gotten more silly and funny. But then like a lot of people really bought into the whole drama of the 1st season, and they're like, this was just a great balance between drama and comedy and this and that. It just feels like a Hallmark card, this show. It's very like, oh, this is obvious. Oh, this is like emotionally like, oh, this is what would happen, like A, B, C, right? And I was just trying to figure out this phenomenon with my fiance, and I was just like, oh, it's interesting how like, there's just big fans of Jason Segel. Dude. People really love his stuff.
I mean, it's the same.
It's interesting.
It's the same thing with Ted Lasso.
Right. That's what people were saying too. It was like this weird dramedy thing, that people like.
Mm-hmm. And that's Apple TV for you. That's what they do.
Yeah,
I watched
dude.
I watched a season and a half of Platonic. And I thought it was fine. I was just like, these people are all rich, whatever. I don't give a shit.
Dude. That's the other thing. My other criticism of the show is that like everyone's like incredibly close. Like they're all involved in their lives in a very intimate way. And somebody actually put it perfectly on Reddit, because I was just looking through these threads trying to figure out like, what do I like about this? And then what if I don't? But I do recommend it, for Feel Good TV.
Shrinking.
But I guess it's produced by Bill Lawrence.
Okay.
And he did the whole Scrub stuff. And I'm like, okay.
It's a Scrubbies.
And people were like, this is basically like fantasy friendship core.
Yeah, that's funny, dude. That's,
and I'm like, dang, that kind of nails it, because it's like very feel good, and like everyone really gets along. Like there are some conflicts, but it's not like heavy stakes, because I turned to my fiance and I'm like, Michelle, and I'm like, yo, we're into like Chernobyl, like 6 episodes, like every single angle has been thought of and processed, or like Murder Docs, where it's like they think of every single angle and like every answer has been processed. Or like this show's just kind of, off the cuff. There is one specific plot point and character that comes into play that my fiance and I had a big discussion about. I'll let the audience figure that one out. But other than that, I don't know. I think it's a solid feel-good TV. I mean, it's just the IMDb rating is super high, and we were like, dang, this is crazy. But then I was just kind of like, man, I don't know. Maybe there are just a lot of fans of that style of TV.
Well,
and
also
it's just like,
Harrison Ford is one of the most famous people to ever live. So there's like a lot of old people that watch it.
There's a very clear range of like, oh, Harrison Ford's at the top, like easy.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely
top of the call sheet
for sure. And then like you see a couple of other actors and you're like, okay, like I could see them being in a movie. And then you see the couple of other actors and you're like, okay, they're definitely like just meant for TV. Like not that they can do better or do crazier movies, but it's like you can tell they're very comfortable doing just TV, you know?
Yeah, TV actors. Nothing wrong with that. They're great.
Yeah, of course. Of course not. You have your thing, you know? It's like people are voice actors, people aren't actual actors, right? People have their niche, but it's like
I don't know, we would say actual.
The daughter. True, but the one of the daughter of the main character, she ends up in Backrooms. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, she's
cool,
great.
She's doing well. People are doing it's like, I don't know, Apple TV is kind of this weird plug, I feel like, for some studio execs to watch and be like, oh, they're good. Let me just put them in a fucking movie. And It just feels like more of auditions. Because it's like you said, with Ted Lasso, I hear the same thing. It's like the first season's great and the stakes are crazy. But then it just like goes off the edge and it turns into friendship core. And I just turned to my fiance and I'm like, what's the plot? Like, what is happening? Like, who cares? Well, like, we're just seeing these rich people do rich things.
So you're recommending Shrinking?
Yes.
Jason Segel and Harrison Ford, and I'm recommending Mortal Kombat 2. It's very fun. And next week, come on back. We're going to discuss the season finale of season 2 of Star Trek: The Next Generation, Shades of Grey. And spoiler alert, it makes you feel like Frakes isn't coming back. Like, they really set it up like he's leaving the show. But yeah, be back for Shades of Grey next week. Thanks for listening, gang. Bye.
Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Do all the stuff with the buffer. Bye. 168. Trek in the Valley is brought to you by Adam Ordall-Quinnell and Al Hurt. The theme was produced by Al. The episodes are engineered by Adam. You can email the podcast at trekinthevalley@gmail.com, or you can search for us on Blue Sky and Facebook as Trek in the Valley and follow us over there. Please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, whatever you do on your podcast apps. It really helps us out. And never forget, always explore strange new fucking worlds.